What if I told you there's a hidden Aeon in Final Fantasy X that can literally one-shot any boss in the game if you know how to use them? Most players walk right past one of the most powerful Aeons in the entire game. Quite frankly, one of the most powerful summons in Final Fantasy series, period. And they don't even know it's there. Yojimbo isn't part of the main story. He's hidden deep inside the cavern of the stolen faith in the Comlands. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to advance the main story, get through the Comlands, head to the mountain, and then you're going to end up fighting a story boss, Defender X, on a bridge. Once you beat him, what you want to do is you want to go under the bridge, and that's going to bring you to an area where you'll then be able to enter the Cavern of Stolen Faith. Okay, here's the area right here. As soon as you come down here, I recommend saving it. And then I'm gonna give you kind of a extra tidbit here. We're gonna go over here and get an item called the Rusty Sword. You'll thank me later. It's gonna help you get Orin's Celestial with. Then we're gonna head back to the entrance of the Cavern of Stolen Faith, and then there'll be a short cutscene.
Where are we?
The faith is inside. As are the fiends.
Hey, this where...
Where? What?
The summoner I guarded on my first pilgrimage died here. Yuna, let's go. The faith awaits.
Okay, so you want to enter the Cavern of Stolen Faith. We're in the entrance. That teleporter right there, you won't have access to that till after you get to Yojimbo's cavern. Okay, we're just gonna knock out these enemies real quick and then keep it pushing. There is something specific I wanted to show y'all as far as the enemies in here. For the most part, there's nothing too special. But this one enemy right here is, you can't beat him. So you just want to escape, all right? I tried, and I tried. You can't. Just escape and keep it pushing. For the most part, the cavern's pretty self-explanatory. Just hit all the cracks so you get all the treasures. And then you're just gonna work your way all the way to the back.
What's a faith doing in a place like this?
Don't ask me.
They say it was stolen from a temple long ago.
Huh?
With no faith, summoners cannot train. Without training, they cannot call the final Aeon. Without the final Aeon, they cannot defeat sin. That is why.
'Cause then the summoner won't die.
That must be what the thief was thinking.
I kinda agree with him.
Okay, after that cutscene, you just want to keep pushing forward a little bit more, and then there's gonna be another cutscene that's gonna lead to a boss battle.
Pat! Another Guado fiend?
No, an unsent.
It is. It's you, is it not, Lady Ginham? Forgive me. I was too young. There is no human left in you now, is there? Very well then. Allow me to perform my last duty to you. My last as your guardian.
Okay, so now we're getting ready to fight Yojimbo. You should have no problems beating him. You don't want that meter to get up all the way. If you do, he's going to use Zanmato and kill everyone in your party. By this point in the game, everyone in your party should be pretty strong, if not OP. If you're not OP, you can check out this video right here where I show you how to get Yuna, Lulu, and Kamari overpowered early, and you can also use that spot to grind everybody else in your party.
Strange. I thought it would be sadder somehow. Maybe I've gotten used to farewells.
You're stronger now.
Waka, I hope you're right. Yuna, the faith is inside. Go do what you came to do.
Okay, before you go forward to go get Yojimbo, you want to go to the left and the right to get the treasures. So do that, and then right after you do that, you want to go save it in case you mess up the negotiations with Yojimbo. Yojimbo isn't free, and if you don't know how to hustle him, you'll pay way more than you should. There's a reason Yojimbo might be the richest person in the Final Fantasy series. So you'll need to pay Yojimbo to join you, but his price depends on how you respond during his dialogue. It's very, very important you make the right choice, not just for that, but also for compatibility, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Now, there's going to be 3 choices, and although the first 2 might be morally correct, you want to choose the very bottom one, defeat the most powerful enemies. Now, this is how Yojimbo got rich. So he's going to ask you for his fee. You want to offer about 50 to 75% of his request, but I'm going to put the numbers up here and just follow that. All right, y'all, we're going to keep trying to hustle him. Here's the next offer you want to offer him. All right, y'all, this is going to be our final counter offer here. And then after that, it'll get him as low as we can possibly get him. If you try to counter after that, he'll walk away. All right, y'all, we're sealing the deal right now. I know it's a lot of money, but like I said, there's a reason he's rich and he has money. A couple key and important things to worth note. I don't have footage of this, but if you triple pay Yojimbo, he will give you 2 teleport spears as a reward. And then before you exit the Cavern of Faith, if you go back to his area, there will be one final scene and he'll give you a strength spear. The other thing about overpaying him too will also unlock a money trophy and an achievement as well. Yojimbo doesn't just attack at random. He's calculating your value every single time. His attacks depend on a hidden loyalty and payment system. The better you treat him, the more likely he is to unleash his strongest move, Zanmato, right? Not necessarily. There's actually 3 factors to consider. Okay, before we get into those 3 factors I was talking about, I want to give a shout out to Dan's G08. Dan's G08. If I butcher your name, I apologize. But I learned about this from his video. He does a really great video and deep dive into all these factors. And if you're numbers people, definitely check out his video. I'll include the link in the description below if you want to get into a much deeper dive than what I'm doing right now. Okay, so the science behind using Yojimbo's Zanmato on command is 3 things: compatibility, the payment amount, and the RNG. Now, we're not really going to spend much time, if any, talking about the RNG. We're really going to focus on compatibility in what I pay Yojimbo to get him to use Zanmato more often than not. All right, before we get into compatibility and payment, I want to hear from you guys. Who is your favorite Aeon? Aeon? I don't know. You guys know what I'm talking about. Who's your favorite summon in Final Fantasy X? Drop them below, and I promise I'll reply to each and every one of them. I know it's hard, y'all. I got like 5 favorites. Compatibility. Think of it like this. Yojimbo's trust meter is his compatibility. The higher his compatibility, the more likely he is to use Zanmato. Now, if you picked option 3 to defeat the most powerful enemies, this is going to alter how Yojimbo's motivation is calculated during battle. And it's going to provide you a more favorable modifier for higher level enemies, boss fights, the Dark Aeons, etc., making him more likely to use Zanmato. That's why it was so important that you picked option 3 earlier when he asked you that question. Okay, compatibility. It's a hidden number that they show us nowhere in the game. So how do we know what number we're at? So if you picked option 3, you're going to start off at 128 compatibility. And how we're going to measure it based on the attacks Yojimbo does, it's going to either decrease or increase your compatibility number. And you can get it up to a max of 255. So I'm going to put a chart up, and this is going to show the values of the attacks and how it can increase or decrease Yojimbo's compatibility number. Now, I did not create this. I got this chart from a guide that was on Steam. Okay, so we're going to go through this chart, and I'm actually going to show you some of the actions as well. But the first thing you have to remember is your starting compatibility is 128. And then based on these actions and these values, you're either going to decrease it from that number or add to that number. So if you pay him 0, -20. If he's KO'd, -10. If you dismiss him right after you summon him, -3. If he uses his dog, -1. If he does his throwing knives, it's 0, so nothing happens. If he pulls out his regular sword and just attacks one enemy, it's +1. If he pulls out his regular sword and attacks all enemies, it's +3. And then if he does Zanmato, it's +4. Now I'm going to get into showing you guys some of these attacks and what their value is when you do them. Here is his throwing knives. This is his weaker sword attack, and it has 2 values. If you hit just one enemy, it's +1. If you hit all enemies, it's +3. This is why we're all here. This is Zanmato right here, y'all. So now your compatibility's higher, and Yojimbo trusts you a lot more. The question is, how much is his loyalty really worth? I tested it, and the answer might surprise you. Now, when it comes to paying Yojimbo, there is no guaranteed amount to pay Yojimbo, whether it's low or high, that's going to guarantee that you do Zanmato 100% of the time. Even if your compatibility is maxed out at 255. Now, does that help greatly? It does. Now, there's a lot of different things out there when it comes to what you should actually pay Yojimbo in order to do Zanmato. And I'm going to go through what works best for me, and it may surprise you. Okay, before I get into what I actually pay Yojimbo, I want to remind you guys, if you actually follow the guide, and you picked option 3, you're going to start at 128 compatibility. The clips I'm going to show you is right after I had got Yojimbo and I started using him in the Zanakin Ruins. So I haven't built up my compatibility with Yojimbo anymore. Okay, I have a couple different go-to payment amounts for Yojimbo. The most common one that I use is 1,024. The reason being, at the very least, he's going to use his regular sword attack. Yes, dog, I cannot pronounce that name, so I call it regular sword attack. And then he will also do Zanmato from that. So at the very least, I know I'm not going to lower my compatibility by using that payment. Now, my next amount is 4,096. Usually when I use this amount, he's more than likely going to do Zanmato. And I usually will save this for a bigger enemy, or if I really want to do Zanmato when I'm out grinding. Okay, I know what you're saying. That can get pricey really quick. And what if we're out grinding, or if we're trying to build his compatibility? I got you. We're gonna go through those payments and my preferred payments for when I'm grinding or building his compatibility up. My go-to payment for him when I'm out grinding, or if I'm just trying to build his compatibility up, is 32 gil. It's a low amount and you're gonna get good attacks, and you don't really have to worry about bad or negative attacks unless you're spamming 32. Don't spam 32. What I mean by that is after you use it like 3 times, I would go to a higher amount if you're still currently in that battle, just to avoid a negative value or a bad attack. So I would jump up maybe to like 512 or like 1,024 just to guarantee a good attack. And then once you get into another battle, then you can go to 32 again. So now you know how to unlock Yojimbo's true power, but it's just the beginning. You ever wonder what it feels like to command every hidden Aeon in Final Fantasy X? Well, in the next video, I'm gonna show you exactly how to do just that. We're gonna unlock all of them. And trust me, they're completely game changers. It's time to prepare for endgame, y'all.